Well, that broke my heart. What is up, Flick fans, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are talking about one of my most anticipated movies of the last couple of months. It finally came to a theater near me. We are talking The Farewell. I need your comments down below. Did you enjoy this movie? And let's talk about it. So a Chinese family discovers their grandmother has only a short while left to live and decide to keep her in the dark, scheduling a wedding to gather before she dies. And oh my goodness, A24, one of my favorite studios out there, you delivered an emotional gut punch, a movie that handles atmosphere and tone, I think, better than anything I have seen all year, and one that broke me. I said this on Twitter. I normally tweet out reviews right after I see the movie. I had to sit back and wait for about 30 minutes and just kind of ponder on what I just watched. Not because there is a lot to soak in and think about, oh, what happened here and here. The story is very simple. It's all about a family who comes together to basically celebrate their grandmother without telling her why they're there to celebrate. It's all covered up by this wedding, and that really it's the premise of this movie. It carries out until the end. And like I said, this is just such an emotional experience. If you have ever lost a loved one, if you have ever had a grandmother or grandfather in particular who was a major part of your lives, then maybe they begin to lose their memory, or they get cancer, or something happens that normally happens to people that reach that age and are maybe not in the best of health, or maybe they are in the best of health, but they get to that point in their lives and your body, it just continues to wither down as you get older. And when you hit that age, that's when hearts begin to break and things start to happen to your loved ones. And listen, here's one of the reasons why I felt the way that I felt about this movie. I'll get into all of the brilliance of the filmmaking here in just a second, but just a personal story. So my grandmother, who I grew up with and I saw basically every weekend of my life for 10 to 12 years. Last year, she was put in a nursing home because she had a few health scares, she got dementia, and she fell. All of those things kind of added up to the fact that she had to leave her home, go into that nursing home. She's about 3 hours away from me right now, and it feels like every time I go to see her, I lose a bit more of her, and my entire family feels the same way. And it comes down to the most recent time when we saw her. She had trouble recognizing me, she had trouble recognizing my wife. My dad calls, she doesn't know which brother it is. It's just it's a complicated situation, and the entire time I was watching this movie, I felt what Awkwafina's character felt in this situation. It is a different situation from hers because in this movie, she has cancer, and the cancer is so bad, it's at a stage to where they don't think they can really do anything about this, and they decide to keep that from her. So she's all happy and giddy and just excited to see everyone. Her whole family is finally gathered back from America, from here, from there. Everyone is here, right? And then you have Awkwafina, who is the one that is struggling the most with not telling her what is actually wrong with her. This is a Chinese tradition, and one thing I loved about this movie is how it handled traditions from families in general, gathering around the dinner table, talking, laughing, joking around. Those things you love doing when you go and you visit your family, whether it's a brother, a sister, a grandma, a cousin, whatever it is. I have that with my family, but they partook in all of those things, and while that was going on, you see it kind of fluster in the back of everyone's head. It starts out just Awkwafina. She's the only one that's kind of freaking out. Then it slowly transfers to everyone else in the situation, and to see that progress, and to see even the people who at the beginning of the movie were like, we can't tell her no matter what we do. By the end of the film, they're sitting back going, I don't know. It's a confliction that I saw progress in every single character, and there was not a bad performance. I had no issue with the script when it came to side characters, dialogue, from her parents to her actual grandma, to her grandma's sister, to her uncles, to her aunts. The conversations, everything, it led towards developing each and every character. And even the characters who maybe I didn't know their name, you could still see the emotion within them, especially when everything comes to the head at the end of the movie, the eventual wedding. Not spoiling anything because it's in the trailer, but yeah, it's just a story that I think is going to rock a lot of people to their core, especially if you can relate to it in some way. And it doesn't have to be a grandparent. It can really be anyone in your family or a friend. You can connect with this situation. Now let's get into the filmmaking, because that's the reason. Listen, if all of that stuff that I just talked about worked really well, I would say, yeah, I like this movie a lot. I enjoyed it. But you pair that with this filmmaking, the cinematography. It felt like every shot had a purpose. Everything was laid out so well. And I know there's a lot of hype around The Farewell, and it's got a 99 on Rotten Tomatoes. It's going to be... Listen, I kind of bought the hype. I'm like, yeah, this could be really good. I didn't expect it to hit me. I didn't anticipate getting emotional in the theater, and I did. I got emotional. I sat back at the end and watched every ounce of credits without saying a word, moving, touching my phone, anything. I just sat and soaked it all in because it was such an emotional experience. And Awkwafina. Everyone in this movie is good. They carry their weight. They bring in the emotion. And it's so funny because all this movie is. It's just a lot of conversation. It's a lot of learning about this family and the struggle that they have with each other, the struggle that they have with decisions that they made in the past, and the struggle that they have with this particular decision. That's all the movie is. So if you're expecting action or adventure or something crazy or Awkwafina to jump off of a building, you're not going to get that. The Farewell is exactly what you think it's going to be. It's just executed in the best way possible. And back to Awkwafina, who is magnificent. I mean, right now, possibly one of my favorite performances of the year. She is broken when she needs to be broken. She is incredibly, incredibly emotional on a level that I didn't anticipate. I know she's funny. She's done funny before, and she's done it well. This is something else. This is something that I didn't think I would see out of her. She is magnificent. And that, mixed with this script, mixed with the direction by Lulu Wang, who, first time making a movie, hopefully this is not the last time. I hope you get every opportunity from here on out. A wonderful job, incredibly slick direction, awesome cinematography with the score, and the score was just haunting in a sense. And when they took away the score from certain scenes and you just sit there in silence and wonder with the characters what is going to happen next, it just felt so real. It kind of felt like at times watching a documentary of a family that's experiencing a trouble like this. And because of all of those things coming together, mixed with the A24 package, so you know it's going to be an artistic film. And yes, it is a bit artistic, but I do think this is an artistic film that is family friendly. It's only PG, but it's family friendly and heartbreaking and emotional, and it is a crowd pleaser. All of these things. I mean, how rare is it that you get a movie this crowd pleasing, yet it's artistic and wonderfully made? And The Farewell, for me, is just, it's a great movie. It is a great movie. One of the best movies I have seen all year, and one of my absolute favorites. I have to go. You know what? I was planning on going somewhere with my score. I'm going even higher. I'm going 96% for The Farewell. One of the highest scores I have given all year. I placed it on my list. I'm actually going to move it up a bit higher because the more I think about this movie, the more I get emotional, the more that I absolutely love it. I feel the same way I felt about 8th Grade last year, A24 movie. I walked out of that film feeling emotional, happy, entranced. This movie wasn't feeling as happy, but it does end on a note that makes you smile, sit back and go, I need to call my grandmother and tell her that I love her, or just a family member in general. So that's my review of The Farewell. I loved this movie. I truly hope you guys get to watch it, and I hope you love it too. Thank you so much for watching this video. Leave a comment down below. Did you enjoy this movie? Are you a fan of A24 and their films? A lot of videos have already posted on my channel this weekend. A lot of movies dropped, so I'm sorry if this is like the 8th or 9th one, but there are more things coming tomorrow. Stay tuned. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you very soon.